have so many clients that work with me that go, Beck, I can now coach myself through any limiting belief. Hello, beautiful lady. Welcome back to Higher Self and I am very excited today because in today's podcast episode, I'm going to give you a little bit of a deep dive into what I'm working with one particular one-to-one client at the moment and how we're taking her business to 500k cash this year. Oh, it's a good one. So this client has been hitting multi six figures. So she's been hitting multi six figures in her business for a while. And she is very, very ready for that next level. And the next level for her looks like 500k. And when she came to me, there was a lot of things going on, from a place where she had been almost, I'm not going to say the word pushed, but a couple of previous strategies that she'd been trying had been very bro marketing, a lot of DM messages, a lot of inviting people onto the calls, like a lot of energy coming from that. And she was also grappling with a couple of mindset blockers that were coming up. So when she came to me, she was very addicted to the stress, very addicted to the struggle, very kind of in the, I have to work hard, I have to be hustling, there's no way that I'm going to grow the business if I don't. So she was very much in that. She was she was falling back to the default of learning. So like, I need to learn more, I need to know more before I can go and step into that next phase. She was working very, very hard for like 1 to 2 to 3 weeks to sign a lot of clients and then kind of hit that burnout. So there was a lot of patterns that were going on, a lot of procrastinating, a lot of shiny object syndrome, a lot of learning, like incredible amounts of learning, but not a lot of follow through. And when she came to me, she was looking for a way of doing business differently. I think she'd had enough of playing into that bro marketing type strategy and wanted people to come naturally to her. And it was really ironic because she came very naturally to me, found me, signed straight up, moved through my product suite, started as a one-to-one. And she kind of had that feeling of like, wow, I want my clients to be able to do the same. And the way that you connected with me and the way that you made me feel and the way that felt just so right for me to move into that investment, that's how I want people to be in my business too. And she's really leading a movement. And I know that she will lead an incredible, huge movement that people will want to be part of. And this is the next stepping stone for her. And quite frankly, we have set out for her to hit 500k this year. I know she'll do more than that, and I know she'll be listening today, but I think the way that we work and the way that I work within my containers, especially some of the containers that I've got coming up at the moment, it's more about calibrating your mindset to be able to see way further than your actual goals. And I find a lot of clients come in, we set goals, I do a deep dive, and then like within 2 or 3 months, they're like, okay, we've kind of hit those. So what's next? And we're in this process of growing to that next level as well. So she knows that a lot of the patterns, a lot of the behaviors that she came to me with were not going to serve her to move into that next level. And actually, I wanted to break down what we've been doing and what we are doing for her to really not only hit that goal this year, but exceed that goal this year. So the first thing that we really worked on and that we've been working on is the subconscious content. And I do this a lot. I've spoke about it a lot. If you know of the Content Bible back in the day, the Ideal Client Clarity Bible, I've been creating and have created a subconscious marketing strategy that I've been using I mean, it was way before Australia. It would have been 2021 when this came to fruition. And I kind of created and brought my knowing and understanding of the subconscious mind and the neuroscience behind the behaviors and the buying, etc., the psychology, and piecing that with content and how we do that. So we are really at the moment allowing her to connect to her ideal clients on a completely different level. And this means creating content that fully speaks to them, makes them seen and heard, but through the subconscious marketing strategy that I use. A lot of the time with her clients, they needed a lot of convincing. And I think this was down to the structure that she had been taught. And there was a lot of push in the DMs, which she hated. It was very unaligned with her, very unaligned with what she believed in. I think a lot of her values. And I get a lot of clients like that. A lot of strategies don't suit them because they don't resonate with them at all. So we were really looking at how we can create a lot of revenue and create a lot of clients in the business, but without her having to constantly push people in the DMs. And one of those was the type of content that she was creating, and then the positioning around who she actually wants to work with. So when she started with me, she had a lot of unaligned clients that weren't really showing up to the container the way that she wanted to. So we did a lot of work on repel content, how we can really call people out for what you don't want them to show up in the container as. And we did a lot of attraction content in the way of getting so specific with her positioning on who it is that she works with, the energy of her client, the way that she wants her client to show up, and really getting clear on that. And that means that not only does your content hold you and hold a lot of the sales that you have, it also makes sure that it's vetting the right people into your container. And this is what I love so much about the subconscious marketing that I teach. You're not only having that moment with your client where trust is built so quickly because you're like, fuck, she gets me, she understands me, she knows what I'm going through, she can resonate with that. She sees what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. I get a lot of people say, like, are you watching me? What the hell is going on? Like, everything you say resonates with me so deeply. And that's from knowing and really understanding not your it's like know your ideal client inside out. It's more than that. It's knowing their behaviors. It's knowing how they operate. It's knowing where the operation of their mind and their life is coming from, and what's bringing them to do certain behaviors, certain things in their life and their business, or whatever you're teaching on, whatever you're coaching on, whatever your business is for, and actually making sure that we speak to that directly to that. So people are emotive through your content, so they move by themselves. So that's really one of the things that we've been fully concentrating on over the last couple of weeks, to make sure it's so intentional, so strategic, and so aligned with everything that she's doing across the board. Everything is linking to everything, and we have that in place. The second thing that we're doing is looking at the 7-figure CEO operations. Now, obviously, we're working towards 50K this year, but obviously she will carry on, exceeding that, building on that, moving into 7 figures in the business. So therefore, we want to make sure that we have the CEO operations now of a 7-figure business. And when she came to me, it was a lot of running her business on a whim. And she'd done exceptionally well with her business running it this way, but she knew that couldn't take her to the next level, and that's why she was kind of in that stagnant energy for a little bit before we started working together. So she had that constant feel that she needed to catch up. She wasn't taking hardly any weekends off, never took a day off due to the fear of what would happen in the business. And actually what we wanted to do is create that streamlined effect across the board. And so she could work smarter. She didn't need to work harder. We actually implemented on bringing on one of her team members. We brought her on full time. So she started to do less of the admin work, the work that was kind of taking her out of her zone of genius, so she could have that intentional action and take time off too. And one of her huge beliefs was that she has to work hard, that, I'm only going to get there by working hard. And I think really having a look at that and really having a look what that looked like for her and how that was going to be moving forwards and what she wanted it to look like moving forwards was really, really important. Because of course we're going to work hard, but it's working smarter in those times and in those frames than actually like harder. I don't know, like the hardness of the word hard, you almost put like a presupposition onto what the thing is going to be, right? You perceive that you're going to have to work hard, so therefore the subconscious kicks in, the amygdala kicks in. We've got a lot of things going on when we put that story of working hard on it. So actually, we work strategically rather than hard. And I think you can still work hard within working strategically, but it's coming from a better energy. It's coming from a more aligned energy for her. So we've been very strategic in all of her launches, in where things are connecting, in what we've got coming up, in where people are moving to, in what that's going to look like, in how many clients she can take on, to the revenue that she can create, to the reoccurring revenue that she has, is really, really important. And that was one of them that we really made sure that we created that 7-figure CEO operations for her to be able to have everything in line, everything in the right space for her to be able to grow. The next thing we had a look at was her product suite stepping stones. So we kind of really made sure that we had this strategic progression of offers. And just the way that she moved through my strategic progression of offers, we wanted to do that with her clients too. So, bringing on a couple of offers that she'd wanted to put out for a long time, and actually made her implement those and actually get them out there. So we had this beautiful stepping stone of how people move through her business. And I think this is really important for you to look at, especially when you're scaling, because the clients who are already in your business are incredible to work through your business, to work through the stepping stones of your offers, which means you're not constantly looking for new leads all the time. People still want to work with you. People want to move up to that next best, like the next offer or the next thing. Maybe they're growing with you and they grow naturally into that next offer. So making sure that we had that progression of offers in her product suite rather than, well, it's this or nothing else, gave people the option. It gave people the chance to come into her world, to build the trust, to build that relationship together, for them to see the changes, then grow through that as well. And it really gave her clients this transformative journey where they got value, and they saw the changes and then could carry on through the product suite, carry on through the offers that she had. And that really helps with revenue and reoccurring revenue and maintaining that sustained growth. Because if you have people that are constantly moving through your product suite, moving through your offers, again, you're not having to go out and find thousands of new leads every single day. Obviously, one of the things that we worked on the first thing I spoke about, which was the subconscious clarity content around that, we really looked at her visibility and how we can amplify that. And that's something that we're working on, especially making sure that she's, consistently in front of new eyes without her having to do more. I think you can become very omnipresent in your business. And that's something that I go through with my clients. So yeah, building that product suite stepping stone was really, really important. And then the last thing, cannot go without talking about it, was the mindset sustainability. And for me, more than anything, when people work with me, and that doesn't matter what container that they're in, it's about the sustainability of their mindset and for them to understand how they can coach their self. I have so many clients that work with me that go, Beck, the biggest thing for me, and there's lots of other things included, but one of the biggest things for me is the fact that I can now coach myself through any limiting belief. I have the tool belt, I have the understanding. A lot of them hear me in their head and almost go, what would Beck be asking me right now in Voxer? What would she be saying back to this? How would she approach this? I almost create a space where they can start to coach themselves, because you're not going to want to be reliant on me forever and a day, and I don't want that for you either. So I need to create a space within the containers, no matter what container you're in, where you can start to learn how to have that mindset sustainability yourself, that bounce back ability. And yes, of course, going through all of the beliefs that come up, making sure that we've got the trust and the self-belief there for what we're working on. But actually that mindset sustainability is going to allow her to not only achieve her financial goals, but actually sustain her financial goals. And I think that's one of the things that I pride myself in. It's that sustainability with my clients. We get to that place, we sustain, we get to the next place, we sustain, which is so important. Rather than you being on this constant yo-yo, this constant roller coaster of income, this constant roller coaster of trusting, not trusting, believing, not believing, it's that sustainability. So we've really been growing that mindset tool belt and really been working on a lot of the beliefs behind that in order for her to fully step into 500k this year, smash it, exceed it, go even further, whatever that looks like for her, but making sure that she's doing it in a really sustainable way. Calm, confident, collected, and that's exactly what she wanted. So I just wanted to give you a little insight into what it looked like when we were moving towards 500k. We had a look at her content structure and how we can really enhance that for the attraction marketing, subconscious marketing method that I use. We had a look at her 7-figure CEO operations, making sure everything in the business was as it should be if she was holding a 7-figure business, and what needed to happen there. We've started fleshing out, building out her product suite, the stepping stones, moving people through. How do we do that via your content as well? And then having a look at the mindset sustainability, which I think is the most important piece. It's how we sustain, how we look after yourself, how you have that bounce back ability. Things are going to come up in business. It's going to feel sometimes tough. We're going to have challenges. We're going to have pushbacks. We're going to have resistance. But it's what you do with those in the time that you do it that has such an insane impact on how you move forward in your business. So yes, there you go. A little bit of an insight. Let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully there's a couple of pops for you to have a little look into if you're going into that next level of your business. And I will see you in the next episode.